A long time ago, in a kingdom lost to time, there was a woman named Omolewa. She was beautiful, so beautiful that people whispered she was not human, but a gift from the gods. Her dark skin glowed like polished stone. Her eyes held secrets deeper than the sea, and her laughter was soft like the wind. But Omolewa was cursed. Anyone who loved her, anyone who stayed by her side too long, would lose a year of their life for every moment they spent with her. At first, no one believed it. How can love steal time? They said. But then the men who loved her began to change. Their faces wrinkled. Their hands grew weak. Their hair turned white. Some lost 10 years in a single night. Some died in just a few days. And so, the world turned against her. She is cursed by the gods, the people whispered. She is a punishment to men, the elders warned. She must live alone forever, the king declared. And so, Omolewa lived alone. Her place, once filled with laughter, became silent. The halls were cold. The garden outside her window grew wild, the vines creeping up the walls like hands trying to pull her into the earth. She watched the world move on without her. She saw people fall in love. She saw them grow old together. But she could never have that. She could never touch someone without stealing time from them. She could never hold a man without feeling his life slip away. And so, she stopped hoping. She stopped dreaming. She stopped waiting for someone to love her. But then, one day, a man came to her door. Omolewa stood at the high window of her palace, watching the world below. The sound of footsteps pulled her from her thoughts. She turned sharply. No one ever came here. No one dared. The last man who tried had aged 50 years in a single night. Slowly, she stepped toward the great doors of the palace and pulled them open. A man stood at the entrance. He was tall and strong, his dark skin glistening with sweat from the long journey. His eyes were sharp, filled with something she could not name. "Who are you?" Omolewa whispered. The man smiled slightly. "My name is Idowu." Her breath caught in her throat. The name felt familiar, like a whisper from a dream she could not remember. "You should not be here," she said, stepping back. "You know who I am." "I do," he said. "You are Omolewa, the cursed woman." His voice was steady, without fear, without hesitation. "Then you know you must leave," she said. "If you stay, you will die." He did not move. Instead, he tilted his head slightly, studying her. "Then let me die," Omolewa's heart pounded. "No," she said quickly, shaking her head. "You don't understand. The moment you stepped through that door, your time began to fade." Idowu smiled, but there was something sad in his eyes. "Then I will spend what little time I have left with you." Omolewa clenched her fists. "Do not be foolish. Every second you stay, you lose a year of your life." Still, he did not leave. Instead, he took another step closer. Omolewa's hands trembled as she stepped back. "You do not understand," she whispered. "I have seen strong men crumble before me. Kings, warriors. They all swore they would stay, but none of them could." Idowu did not flinch. "Then they were not meant to stay." His voice was calm, steady. He wasn't boasting like the others. He wasn't trying to impress her. He simply believed in his words. Omolewa swallowed hard. "You think you are different?" Idowu tilted his head slightly. "I don't think. I know." Omolewa's breath caught. She turned away sharply, her golden bracelets clinking as she walked toward the great hall. "Do as you please," she said. "I will not beg you to leave." She had begged before. It never worked. Idowu followed her inside. The palace was empty, silent, waiting. Omolewa sat upon her throne, watching Idowu as he stood in the center of the room. "How much time have you lost already?" she asked. Idowu lifted his hands, studying them. His fingers were steady. His skin was smooth. But then, Omolewa's eyes narrowed. The first strand of white, a single hair hidden in the darkness of his curls. She exhaled slowly. "It has begun." Idowu only smiled. "Good." Omolewa clenched her fists. "Foolish man, he does not know what he has done." "Stay if you wish," she said. "But do not expect me to pity you when you beg for your life." Idowu chuckled, the sound low and warm. "I will never beg, Omolewa." And for the first time in years, she did not know whether to feel angry or afraid. The night passed in silence. Omolewa sat in the grand hall, watching Idowu from the shadows. He had refused to leave, and now the weight of his decision had begun to show. The first silver thread in his hair had not been the only change. His shoulders, once strong and unshaken, now carried a slight heaviness. His hands, once steady, now trembled just the slightest bit. She had seen this before. She had seen it happen too many times. And yet, he did not seem afraid. "Do you feel it now?" she asked, her voice quiet. Idowu did not turn to look at her. He was standing near the window, staring at the night sky. "Yes," Omolewa swallowed. "Then leave." Idowu smiled. "No." She hated that answer. She stood abruptly, stepping closer. "You are losing time," she said sharply. "You will grow old before the sun rises. You will be a dead man before the week is over. I have seen it happen." Idowu finally turned his head. His eyes held something deep, something unreadable. "Then let it happen." Omolewa clenched her fists. "You are a fool." "Perhaps," Idowu said, simply. "But I would rather be a fool in your presence than a wise man without you." Omolewa's breath hitched. No, she would not fall for this. Every man who had ever spoken to her like this had died in her arms. Their love was nothing but words, foolish and empty, swallowed by death before they could mean anything. She took a slow step forward, then another. "You think you love me?" Idowu did not answer right away. Instead, he studied her, his gaze roaming over her face, as if trying to remember something he had never known. "You feel familiar," he murmured. Omolewa froze. The words struck her like a blade, sharp and unexpected. She opened her mouth, but before she could speak, a loud knock shattered the silence. Bang, 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 Omolewa and Idowu both turned toward the great doors. Another knock, harder this time. Then a voice. "Omolewa, open the door." The villagers had come for him. The knocks grew louder. Bang, bang, bang. "Omolewa." The voice outside was urgent, trembling with fear. "Open the door before it's too late." Omolewa's heart pounded. She knew this would happen. It always happened. She turned to Idowu. "They have come for you," she said, her voice tight. "If you go now, you might still have time left." Idowu didn't move. The door shook under the weight of another blow. "Idowu!" The voice called again. "You must leave her. She will end you like she ended the others." The words made Omolewa flinch, like she ended the others. Her hands curled into fists. She had never asked anyone to stay. She had never begged anyone to love her. But they always did, and they always died. She turned away, gripping the back of her throne, trying to ignore the pain twisting inside her. "Go," she whispered. Still, he did not move. The knocking stopped. Silence. And then, bang! The great doors flew open. A gust of cold air rushed in, carrying with it the scent of rain and earth. Omolewa did not turn. She did not need to. She could feel them staring at her. The villagers. Their eyes were always the same, filled with fear, with anger, with pity. "You must leave him, Omolewa," one of the elders said. "You must set him free before he is lost to you forever." She clenched her jaw. "I never asked him to stay." The elder's gaze flickered to Idowu, who stood calmly, his hands at his sides. "Then why does he not leave?" Omolewa let out a bitter laugh. "That is a question for him." The elder turned to Idowu, eyes pleading. "You do not know what you are doing, son. Do you know how many men have stood where you are standing now?" Idowu finally spoke. "I do not care about them." The elder's face hardened. "Then care about yourself. Look at your hands, boy. Look at your face." Idowu frowned. Slowly he lifted his hands, turning them over. And for the first time his fingers shook. His skin, once smooth, now had lines where there had been none before. His reflection in the polished marble of the floor showed the first signs of a man far older than he was. Omolewa stepped forward, her voice urgent. "Do you understand now?" she whispered. "Time is leaving you. If you stay, there will be nothing left of you." Idu met her gaze, steady and unshaken, then let it leave. Omolewa inhaled sharply. The elder shook his head. "Fool," he spat. "You are not the first to say that, and you will not be the last." Omolewa's voice was hollow. "No, he is the last." The elder frowned. "What do you mean?" Omolewa turned to Idowu. "You feel familiar," she said, echoing his own words. "But it's not just a feeling, is it?" A shadow flickered across Idowu's face. Something lost, something forgotten. In the silence, Omolewa whispered what she had feared to say. "You have been here before." Idowu froze. The room darkened, the air thickening. The villagers gasped. "No," one breathed. "It's impossible." Omolewa's fingers trembled as they brushed Idowu's arm. A memory stirred, one that did not belong to this life. "You are the man I loved before," she said, "and the man I destroyed." The elder staggered back. "The gods have sent him back," he whispered. Omolewa's throat burned. Had the gods sent him back for love or for revenge? Idowu said nothing, but his eyes remembered. The villagers held their breath. The wind carried something old, something waiting to be remembered. Omolewa watched him, waiting for denial, for him to turn and leave. But instead, his jaw clenched. His breath came slow and deep. When he finally spoke, his voice was rough, pulled from somewhere deep within. "I know you." Omolewa's hands curled into fists. "You do now, don't you?" She had known the moment she saw him, the way he said her name. It was not for the first time. The curse had hidden the past, stolen their memories. But now, they were returning. Idowu's fingers trembled as flashes of the past surfaced, his hand brushing her face, her laughter in the halls, promises never kept. His head snapped up, realization striking. "You betrayed me!" Omolewa flinched. The villagers murmured in shock. The elder stepped forward. "What do you mean, boy? What did she do?" Idowu's voice darkened. "She loved me once, and then she killed me." Omolewa's heart stopped. The whispers filled the room, wrapping around her like vines. She turned away, staring at the moonlit floor. "I never wanted to," she whispered. Idowu's voice was a blade, at her back. "And yet you did." Omolewa closed her eyes. The memories pounded in her skull. She had been a queen, and Idowu, her greatest love. But love had not saved him. Her hands had been stained with his blood. The gods had cursed her for it. Her love had killed him once. Now the gods had sent him back. Would he love her again, or make her suffer for what she had done? The past had returned in the form of Idowu. Omolewa stood by the window, arms wrapped around herself. The memories, his, hers, broke free, spilling into the present like a river. She turned slowly, her dark eyes locking onto his. I never wanted to kill you. Idowu's hands shook at his sides. And yet, you did. Omolewa swallowed. Do you remember it all now? I remember enough. The villagers watched in silence. None of them had known the truth. That this curse was not just punishment, but a crime from another life. The elder stepped forward cautiously. Omolewa, tell us. What did you do? There was no escaping it now. She lifted her chin. Idowu and I were once lovers. Gasps. We ruled together. He was my king. I was his queen. And for a time, we were happy. Her voice wavered. But the gods are cruel. They do not allow love without suffering. Idowu scoffed. The gods did not betray me. Omolewa, you did. She flinched but did not deny it. I was afraid, she admitted. Afraid that if I loved you too much, I would lose myself. I thought I could control fate. A slow breath. A war was coming. The elders warned me you would fall. I thought, if I ended it first, I could stop fate from taking you. That if I controlled your death, I could control my pain. Idowu's jaw clenched. So, you killed me before war could take me? Omolewa's voice was hoarse. I killed you because I loved you. Silence. Then, a bitter laugh. You are a fool, Idowu said. You killed me to protect yourself, not me. Omolewa did not argue. Then, the ground rumbled. The walls groaned. The gods had been listening. A voice thundered through the hall. The curse was never your punishment, Omolewa. It was your test. The villagers fell to their knees. Omolewa's heart pounded. What do you mean? We did not curse you for killing your lover. We cursed you to see if love could return. The voice shook the palace. Idowu gasped. Then why bring me back? To see if love is stronger than vengeance. Omolewa's lips parted. The gods had not sent him for punishment. They had given him a choice. Would he forgive her? Or would pain consume them both? Idowu's body shook, with rage, with grief, with something unnamed. Could he love her again? Could he choose love over revenge? The choice was his, and the gods were waiting. The air was thick, crackling with unseen power. The villagers trembled. No one had ever heard the gods speak so clearly before. But now, they waited for Idowu's answer. Omolewa could not breathe. She had never deserved forgiveness. And yet, for the first time in centuries, she hoped. Idowu stared at her, his dark eyes burning. His hands shook, not from fear but war, a war inside him. His heart whispered, she loved me once, she still loves me. His mind screamed, she killed me. Omolewa stepped closer, voice quiet but steady. Idowu, she whispered, what will you do? His breath was ragged. The gods waited. The villagers waited. Then, he reached for her. Omolewa sucked in a breath as his fingers brushed her wrist. His touch was warm, real, alive. You took my life once, he murmured. Omolewa felt her chest tighten. I did. His fingers curled around hers, firm. Then take it again. Omolewa's eyes widened. What? Idohu's lips curled in a near smile. If I must choose between losing you or dying by your side, I choose to die. The villagers gasped. Omolewa staggered back. No, you don't understand. If you stay, if you choose me, you will lose everything. Idohu shook his head. A life without you is no life at all. Tears burned in her eyes. I won't let you do this. Idohu smirked. It's not your choice to make. Then, the gods laughed. The sound rumbled like distant thunder. Omolewa's heart stopped. The gods had never laughed before. Then they spoke. Love is a greater sacrifice than death. The villagers held their breath, Omolewa whispered. What does that mean? The palace trembled. The walls shuddered. Idohu fell to his knees. Omolewa cried out, reaching for him. Idohu! His breath came slow, steady. His skin, young again. The trembling, gone. He looked at her, lips curling into a soft smile. I am alive. Omolewa exhaled. You are. Her fingers brushed his cheek. No curse, no stolen time, just him. The gods had given him a choice, and he had chosen her. Love saved him. But at what cost? What the gods give, they can also take, will they? Tell us what you think in the comments.